Right, we are back and we are going to start all over again at these shapes. If you haven't seen the first video, please go watch the first one. It has to do with volume, and yes, I'm in Minecraft, and yes, I can't get rid of the animals. But now we are going to talk more specifically about surface area. The first thing that I really want to clarify is that there is no surface area for a two-dimensional shape, because a two-dimensional shape only has one surface. Therefore, it's just area. We would only be doing length times width in this case. On a three-dimensional shape or a three-dimensional polygon where everything has the same straight sides and straight lines and vertices, then a surface area is just the combined areas of the top and the bottom, the left and the right, and then the front and the back of a 3D shape. So you're doing regular area for whatever shapes you're dealing with and adding them all together. So I did some of the calculations for you where the back and the front of the shape are 4 units squared. So you want to keep that and you want to add that later. So I don't just have 4 because that's this side. I have to remember that that 4 on a rectangular prism also applies to this side. So I actually have 8 units squared right now. Then I have 5 units squared on the left and right sides. So I've got my 8. I've got 5 more here. I've got 5 more here. So that's actually 18 altogether now. And lastly, I have my 20 units squared for the top. And I have 20 units squared for the bottom. If I wanted to dig down underneath, I could show you, yeah, if I dug this out, I would have 20 units squared underneath. So 20 and 20 is 40, plus the 18 that I had already from the other sides. And that's going to get me 20, 40 plus 18, 58 units squared. So that's important to notice, that even though we talked about how the volume of a one-layered rectangular prism is going to be the same as the area of that top rectangle, and that was 20, the surface area is anything but 20. You cannot start thinking about area and volume and surface area as the same thing. They are very different. This one is a challenge for you. If I let you know now that this is 3 times 4, and this here is 3 times 5, and I have here 4 times 5, and I know that all of these have a counterpart on the other side of the shape, then what is the surface area of this rectangular prism? You can send that to me in the same email if you're watching these videos back to back. And here I have the same thing. Here I did dig out underneath the shape so that you could, if you wanted to, count 1 centimeter square at a time and get the total. But hopefully we're at a point where we can use some multiplying to speed up that process. So here, the surface area, area of each side added up, and I even wrote it out for you. I've got 3 times 4 plus the other 3 times 4, 2 times 3 plus the other 2 times 3 plus 2 times 4 plus the other 2 times 4 will get me the surface area of this shape. Now, so long, again, as my three-dimensional shape has perfect flat sides and vertices, so no roundness, no cylinders, no circles or spheres, we can use the same concept to get the surface area of a prism. So here, I would want to find the area of this triangle, base times height divided by 2, the area of this rectangle, the area of this triangle, the area of this rectangle, and then the area of the rectangle underneath. And you will still get the surface area. So in some people's point of view, surface area is a little bit easier than volume. There's less multiplying, but there's more adding, and it's just about combining the different areas of all the sides of the shape. But for some people, they also think that all that adding can be tricky and hard to keep track of. So it will be up to your discretion as to which you consider to be the easiest, but now you know. Volume is the amount of space that something takes up, so we measure that in centimeters or units cubed, where surface area is simply the amount of area each surface of that three-dimensional shape can take up. And you add those all together. So that's going to be it for our tutorials using Minecraft. If this worked well for you going over shapes, then I would be happy to do some examples from your worksheets using this same platform. I'm currently working with a couple of students to see if I can get a server up and running, so perhaps we can do some of these lessons in person. But until that time, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a good time doing your math today.